Welcome back to Menace Mode. For those of you who are just joining us, my name's Megan and this is our Mosh Potatoes series where I'm attempting to cook through every single recipe in the Mosh Potatoes cookbook. It's written by Steve Seabury and it is a compilation of recipes by some of the biggest names in hard rock and heavy metal. So if you're an avid food and music lover, you should pick yourself up a copy because it's well worth the read. Today's episode is number 20 and it is such an awesome achievement because I started this right before lockdown and it's something that I wanted to do for a really long time because I'm an absolute music addict, and once the DJing kind of started to slow down a little bit, I needed something to occupy my time a little bit more, and this has just been the perfect fit. So I want to thank you for coming back week on week and checking out the episodes. I want to thank my friends, my family, and my partner for being a helping hand. Hey, dog! For being a helping hand during the filming, the recording, the eating, which has been a big part because there's been a lot of food. So thanks again. I can't wait to do 20 more. Today's recipe is a Mississippi mud cake by Michael Wilton from Queensrÿche. This is a super decadent and naughty and involved recipe. So let's just jump straight in and I'll check in throughout the walkthrough to tell you a couple of things about Michael and about cake and who knows what else. Remember to stick around after the walkthrough for a very cheeky taste test. I hope you enjoy. Cheers. Let's rock and roll. I'm here to tell you just a little bit about Michael. He formed Queensryche back in 1982 and he has nicknamed the Whip from how fast his fingers whip around the fretboard of his guitar. For those of you who think that you've probably heard Michael Wilton's name in another group, you're absolutely right. He formed Soulbender with former Alice in Chains lead singer Nick Pollock back in 2002. So if you're curious what that sounds like, head on over after this video to check out their tunes. Queensrÿche have a massive discography, so I'm not sure where you want to start, but they have a whopping 15 albums, 5 live albums, and released 34 music videos. So I hope after this video you're going to be hanging out on YouTube watching a whole lot of Queensrÿche. Now the next part of this recipe calls for fluff, which is a marshmallow spread from America. But I couldn't find any, so I just improvised and made my own. Just melt down some marshmallows with a little bit of water, but do it slow because it's gonna be messy. A really cool fact about the mud cake was that it was first baked back in 1970 and was believed to be a little bit of a baby from the brownie. The name was first coined when they thought that it looked a lot like the mud from the banks of the Mississippi River, hence the name the Mississippi Mud Cake.
Mississippi mud cake. Yum.
Thanks for sticking around and checking out episode 20 here on Menace Mode. When I first made the cake and saw just how big and how luxurious and how decadent it was, the first thing that came to mind was, you know that scene in Matilda when Miss Trunchbull makes the poor kid eat the entire cake? That's all I could think about. So I called my friend Brittany, who just did that amazing taste test, and I told her about my idea. And she was on board, and thank you so much for doing it. I know you had that cake up your nose for days. We're gonna do something a little bit differently next week. We are going to do a completely new series on the channel called Hip Hop Head vs Metal Head. That's all I'm gonna tell you. You're gonna have to subscribe and come on back next week to find out what it's all about. Have a great week. Stay safe, wash your hands. I'll see you then.